Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I slept funny last night. So my shoulder's really tight on my back. Why do we do that? We must be experts at sleep, humans.
Yeah.
And we wake up and then it feels like I've been beaten up by like ninjas. And you've had it as well, haven't you?
Yeah, exactly the same place as well. I hope it's not on mattress.
What I was thinking about before, thinking about pets. Because we've obviously don't have a pet, but we've always had animals in our lives, like with our family. And like, there's a cat that keeps coming to your mum.
Yeah.
And like how it would like be amazing to have a dog or a cat in this house now. The thing is with pets, there's always a story about when an animal does something stupid.
Yeah.
Like I'll tell mine first. We had this dog called Rosie. Yeah. And this is back in the day when everyone had single paned like glass.
Yeah.
No one had double glazing like now. And Rosie was a bit crazy. And we didn't know Rosie was crazy until we got our second dog when Rosie passed away. Buster.
Yeah.
And it's only when you get another dog you're like, whoa, Rosie was weird. Because we were like, yes, that's just Rosie. Like Rosie's a bit, a bit crazy.
Yeah.
A bit mad.
Just
barks.
you don't know
a bit aggressive, but we love her. And she was aggressive. Like I remember her like she used to be obsessed. Not obsessed, but if you like playing with her as a kid, she'd grab the tongue of your shoe and like just drag you across the floor. Which is alright when you're indoors, but if you're out walking her and she decided to do it, you're on gravel. It hurts. Anyway, so Rosie didn't like men mainly. I know some dogs don't like men.
Yeah.
And especially she didn't like the postman. And in our old house where we grew up, we had these like bay windows which could like jump on, and so there's like surface for her. She would sit there or whatever. And she's a pretty big dog, she wasn't small, so imagine like a Labrador size. One day, postman's there, delivering post, he's like, bloody hell, that dog's gone crazy in that bay window. We weren't there to witness this because we were at school. Rosie jumped through the window after the postman.
That's mad.
The postman ran off. Obviously he was fine, didn't get attacked or anything, didn't get bit or anything like that. But Rosie jumped through the window.
Did he have to come back and tell you later what had happened?
No, I think our neighbour did.
Oh, right.
Because from then on, for years, until Rosie died, our post got delivered next door.
Brilliant.
He wouldn't come, he was like, I'm not going near that house because that dog is possessed. And there was a big like dog-shaped hole in a window in the bay. So it was pretty obvious, but yeah, apparently our neighbour was like, told us like Rosie, called my mum, she was at work, said.
Rosie's just jumped through your front window.
Yeah.
That's mad. Can you imagine getting that call at work?
Yeah.
Your dog has just jumped through a window to attack the postman.
And Rosie was a legend around the area because everyone knew about this crazy she was like, had red fur, this red dog. And when my sister is like now with her like long-term boyfriend, Andy, they got together and they were around like the same area where we were brought up.
Yeah.
And when Emily brought Andy home for the first time, he was like, oh my god, that dog. And Emily's like, yeah, this is Rosie. He's like, yeah, I've been chased by that dog is crazy. She was legend.
That's amazing.
She was crazy. But only when we got another dog, we're like, yeah, Rosie was strange. Yeah.
I wish I'd met Rosie. That is mad. We used to have this cat who wasn't our cat. We called him Sid. And he started turning up in our garden and eating our cats, because we had 2 cats at the time.
Eating your cat's food?
Eating our cat's food, yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, eating our cats.
It's getting really dark.
I cut that sentence off too soon. Eating our cat's food, because we had a couple cats at the time. I can't remember how many. But we've always had like 2 or 3 cats at a time. This cat starts showing up in the garden, and it's one of those things where it's like really nervous at first and doesn't want to come up, and then one day you look out the window and it's like eating out the cat's bowls, and you go out and try and give it a treat and it runs off again, sort of, it wasn't going to come anywhere near us. We went on holiday as a family, so the house was empty, came home, it was on mum and dad's bed. He'd just moved in, and we literally couldn't get rid of him. We put him outside, closed the door, next day he'd still be sat there. If you left the kitchen door open, he'd be in the kitchen, sat on the side. Like it was like all of us, it was like when we went on holiday, he just decided it was his house now. And it was like when we came back, we were moving back into his house.
No way.
So we just let him do what he wanted, because he was lovely. He was like, he was huge. He was like a really big cat. It's a really weird thing to say about a cat, but he was tall. Like when he stood up, it was like his legs were huge. Like he was so big. It's like if he was a human, he'd be a boxer.
Yeah.
He was massive.
Or a basketball player.
Yeah. So we just let him do what he wanted. Like he could come and go as he pleased, because he was lovely. My dad was out and found missing posters. And it was like missing Cooper the cat. And it was pictures of Sid. So my dad brought it home. We were like, we've got to call up. So we called up this woman and said, we think we've got your cat. Do you want to come over and collect him? So she came over, and apparently he was part of like a brother and sister pairing, or she had 2 cats, and they were called Minnie and Cooper, and this was Cooper.
Okay.
So she took him home. 2 days later, he's back in our kitchen. And my dad called up, and she said she'd come and get him, and she didn't. She didn't come and get him. And when she also had a dog, and when we saw her walking the dog, she'd walk up to our house, cross the road, walk past our house, cross back, and carry on her walk. So I don't think she wanted her cat back, basically.
That's so weird to think that you just, because I wouldn't think of anything worse than if I knew that someone had my dog, I'd be like, I'd give him my dog back.
And it's not like he was a nutcase cat, he was like just a normal moggy. Like he was a normal cat. There was absolutely, like he was just the nicest, sweetest cat. So I don't know why she didn't want him back. I do wonder if she sort of admitted defeat, because cats kind of choose their humans as opposed to the other way around, and I think he'd very much chosen us.
Yeah, but if it was me, I'd be like, they'll think I'm a terrible owner. I have to go around and say, hey, listen, like I will take my cat back, but it seems he's happy here. Yeah. Are you happy keeping it? Or are you happy having him come and go as he pleases? Yeah, like I'll do what he wants, because I can't just keep. It feels weird if you keep calling me and saying, the cat's here, the cat's here, the cat's here. Like, it should be just share the cat. Yeah. But my mum, rather than avoid the house, like you. But my mum had found this book around the time that this cat started coming to our house, and it was called 6 Dinner Sid, and it was about a cat who lived on a street of 6 houses, and every house thought it was their cat because he used to come to their house for dinner. So he used to have 6 dinners, but then he got so full, he got ill. So then every owner took him to the vets, and the vet was like, this cat's come to me 6 times, and it turns out that like everyone finds out that the cat actually belongs to the street and not just like the one person. So we called this cat Sid, because we were wondering if he was doing the same thing to us, like he was going to every loads of different houses to get dinner. So we called him Sid, and he was great. There was also a cat from down the road who was like, at first we thought it was a stray, and then found out it actually had an owner, which was really sad, because it was like a long furred cat, and it was so matted and like dusty, like you'd stroke it and your hand would be full of like dirt and dust. Just not well looked after cat. Had one eye missing, like really in a bad way, and we called it Scabby Cat. Yeah. Like we never gave her any other name, we just called her Scabby Cat. But she came to us to die. Oh God. Like
she kept turning up on our front step. Like open the door to go to school, go to work or whatever, and there'd be this cat. Like really weird Scabby Cat. And it got to a point where we'd like leave the front door open and kind of sit in the house with the front door open, trying to get it inside, because we felt bad just closing the front door on it. And yeah, the day that she came inside, or she started coming inside for a couple of days, and when she finally started coming inside, we laid like a towel out for her, because she'd only come as far as like the front hallway. Laid a towel out for her, and I came downstairs one day and she's like that. I was like, Dad, I think Scabby Cat's dead. Yeah, came to us to die. And the worst bit is that we had to take the cat back to its owner down the road. And I really didn't want I know it's like the right thing to do because it's not our cat. But if the cat was that way before, I mean, I just felt like he was just gonna leave, like put it in the bin or something. Whereas at least we would have given it like a nice burial.
I've only known Scabby Cat for a couple of days.
You joke, but my parents are like that. So I used to have 2 goldfish called Port and Starboard at my flat, and about 6 months in, I can't remember which one died. Port, maybe. I think Port died. And I think it was because Starboard was like bullying him. I used to watch them swim around, and Starboard used to like swim up to Port and like push him against the glass. It was really weird. So Port died about 6 months in, and I was devastated. Like, to tell you how much I cried over that goldfish is ridiculous. I was so upset that it had died under my watch. Anyway, I then went on the Addams Family tour, and Mum and Dad were charged to look after him. This was like 2 years after I got these goldfish. Goldfish can live up to something ridiculous like 17 years, so I didn't do too great on the goldfish run. But Mum and Dad were looking after him, and I remember we were in Manchester and we were waiting for everyone, because I was living in a house with like 5 different people, so we were all waiting for us to, you know, come to front of house so we could all go together. And I get a text from Mum saying, "Are you with people?" Oh. And I think around this time my nan wasn't very well as well, or maybe my granddad wasn't very well. "Are you with people?" And I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "Do you want to wait for this news until you're on your own, or would you rather be with people?" And I was like, oh my God, something's happened to a member of my family, like my granddad's ill, or he's like passed away, this isn't like funny, what's going on? And I was like, just text me, because I'm with people, just text me. And because I don't want to pick up the phone right now and burst into tears. If it's a text, it's different, just text me. Starboard's died. The goldfish had died. And my mum was like devastated. She thought that I was coming home that weekend, and she didn't want to bury the fish. She didn't want to bury the fish without me. So she wrapped it in tin foil and put it in the garage, but didn't realise that I wasn't coming home that weekend. I was coming home in 2 weeks. Yeah. So by that point, that goldfish has already been wrapped in tin foil in the garage for a week, and it stank. Apparently it absolutely reeked. My sister-in-law came over and was like, "What is that smell?" And it was the goldfish rotting in the garage. I was like, "Mum, I love you for doing that, but it's a goldfish, you need to just bury it. Yeah. You don't need to wait for me, just bury it." So you laugh about having a eulogy for Scabby Cat, but they had like a full-on burial for Starboard the goldfish, so. What's your advice for today?
Don't cut your own hair. Don't cut your own hair with safety scissors.
That works.
No, like the ones that kids use.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, especially the ones with like patterns on them. You remember those? And you just got paper and it's like,
scissors, yeah.
Unless you want that style, might look good. Don't know. But yeah, don't cut your hair with jazzy scissors. Bye everyone. Have a good day.